So let's talk about how it becomes a tie for the competition between Lego and Chinese building blocks, bricks, or whatever. In the last video, we mentioned the difference in terms of raw material, processing, instructions, and this time we're going to talk about the franchise battle between the two, or say intellectual properties. You know what I'm talking about. Things like Pokemon, Star Wars, Marvel, etc. And of course, there are some other aspects like internal packaging for parts, modular design, and MOC. However, when we come to talk about the franchises that are quite popular in China, it seems that the audience who are not located there are not going to make sense of it. So I'm just going to pick part of the content in my Mandarin video and introduce. The first one, IP. Lately, one of the Chinese brands, K-Box, just released a Hulkbuster coded V5004, and the design of it had received much appreciation thanks to the comparison with Lego's just released Hulkbuster 76210. This Lego's Hulkbuster had received many nicknames, among which I like the Pampers Gorilla most. However, as you can see the detail here, the K-Box uses the wrong spelling to avoid the franchise trouble on purpose, and this is just one of the sets or brands that borrow the franchises in specific ways, like Lego, and well, okay. Based on these products, you may even purchase the stickers with right logo from eBay. However, not all the franchises that Lego provides gained success in Chinese domestic market, like Monkey Kid. It's just like General Tso's chicken that the real Monkey King in China never uses armor or powered suits. I know it's some kind of creativity, the problem is the too modern theme itself. However, I think China is not the main target market of this series. Perhaps Lego is preparing a collaboration marketing campaign with Monkey King, Warrior Mech, Optimus Prime, and Pampers Gorilla somewhere out there. As for the franchises bought by Chinese building blocks companies like Panasonic, Semble, Kata, they got many Asian franchises like Initial D, Doraemon, Astro Boy, Crayon Shin-chan, and so on. And now they even have some franchises that originated from Western countries like Snoopy and SpongeBob SquarePants. As for the popularity for Chinese local franchises, or I should say series, maybe the Chinese Spring Festival series from Lego is the only one that may compete with local companies. And for the lately released sets for the Year of Rabbit, well, we got different opinions here as well. For Chinese local companies, of course, they provided a lot local franchises that cater to the local consumers. However, this topic is not quite relevant in this video in English, so we may get to the next one, Technique. I'm sure that some of you guys heard of the brand Kata before, that this company have purchased a lot of licenses from MLC creators. Kata, as the branch brand of Double Eagle, have provided a lot of vehicle relevant products like AE86 and Hummer H1. And apart from that, they also got Pagani Z-Wind, Koenigsegg Jesko, Lamborghini Centenario. However, the licenses that we talked about here are different. AE86 and H1 come from the brands themselves, but for the supercars, it's the design instruction that are licensed from the creators, but not the brands. Apart from bricks and Technique, there is another system that may take us forever to talk about, that is minifigure. However, we're not going to talk about this for that long, since I think for the audience who are watching this video, those Chinese native characters sounds unfamiliar for you, like Lu Xun, Zhuge Liang, and so on. As for the reason, after Lego was pulled back from bankruptcy in 2004, it set a rule that all new products can only be put into mass production on the condition that the profit margin is over 30.5%. Though China is a huge market with potential, but Lego's marketing and price strategy makes it impossible for the majority of the people to afford. So it can't guarantee the sales amount, so is the average injection mold cost of the new products. The mold cost is fixed, and the more Lego produces and sell, the less the average cost becomes, vice versa. Easy to make sense, right? And this is, I think, one of the most important reasons why we may find so many types of third-party minifigures. And well, some of them may turn out to be shaped in some ways that you can't even imagine. And some of them provides more degrees of freedom, so it could be more fun. And back to the topic, there is still a theme that Lego cannot compete with third-party brands and Chinese brands, that is military. Lego won't produce military-relevant products due to its value, the most typical one, 42113 Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey, though it's named as rescue plane, but it only serves in army in real life. The Love Bricks Hate War organization started the protest against this product upon its release, and soon it's been recalled. However, rumor also goes that its recall is resulted from the unreversible damage to the gear system. And apart from Osprey, I also got some information from the discussion in Bilibili like 7683 Fight on the Flying Wing, 10024 Red Baron. Of course, for LEGO parts, we may find a lot of third-party brands or organizations providing military products and designs like Brickmania. However, LEGO never, or should say, rarely did that. And back to Chinese building blocks, here we got kinds of weapons like carriers, fighters, rocket launchers, etc. However, I'm not going to talk about my opinion for this theme since it's indeed very controversial based on different conditions. However, my overall opinion is the more we may choose, the better for the overall consumers. And for the TV series, it's kind of like IP, franchises in some way. What I want to say is that Chinese building blocks may come up with more TV series relevant products a lot faster than LEGO. However, the majority of Chinese companies provide products based on local programs, not Netflix. So you may find them in my Mandarin version video if you are interested. And now let's get to the next one. Internal packaging for parts and modular design. Maybe there's a specific word in English dedicated for what I'm going to say. It seems that these two are two different aspects. However, as both of them are the factors relevant to the building process, so I put them together. For the first one, internal packaging for parts. The thing I want to explain is the way how different parts in the set are put into bag 1, 2, or 3, so that the player may assemble the model step by step, like we got milestones here. So it won't be that boring, as it won't take that long for me to reach a specific stop and feel achievements. By the way, this kind of diverse packaging makes it possible for several people to assemble at the same time. It seems to be a very tiny thing in the set, however it really shows how well does the designer or design team understand the model itself. Chinese companies rarely take that into consideration in the early time. You may even find the internal logistical codes on the bags. However, it gradually becomes a tie between LEGO and Chinese companies. Why? Firstly, Chinese companies are getting more and more aware of branding and user experience. I think this is the most important factors contributing to good word of mouth. Secondly, in China, it's much easier for players to conduct powered modification or even redesign, thanks to the cheaper price and more compatible options. And that comes to the second part, the modular design, like Kata C64004 Formula E City Drift Racing Car comparing to LEGO 42141 McLaren MCL36 and Kata C63003 Dark Knight GTR comparing to LEGO 42123 McLaren Senna GTR. As modular design has been applied in these two sets, it becomes much easier for you to add power units or just simply modify than LEGO. However, the results can be different viewing from different aspects. Like for the 3 supercars of LEGO, the cooperation between LEGO and the relevant car brands is far more closer than the one we talked about before. Even the manufacturing process has been embedded in the LEGO's designs. After all, the cooperation we talked about here are different. It's licensed MOC versus the real car brands. Some of you may know that for Yesco, many tiny troubles of the MOC were taken into the product without any change. So let's get to MOC. For LEGO, we all know the relations between official LEGO and Bricklink and understand that Bricklink is the largest market for both parts and instructions. Additionally, LEGO also had the platform called LEGO Ideas to gather nice designs from fans. However, there always exists criticism for the results of LEGO Ideas, so was the latest one. Chinese companies have bought a lot of licenses from MOC creators. However, there's no doubt that some of them choose to steal directly, which is indeed spoiling the whole industry. Back to MOC license itself. Of course, it's a good thing to consumers as we got more options, and it also provides positive effects for the whole industry. For LEGO, only 1 or 2 among hundreds of ideas may be selected, optimized, and then put into mass production. Thus, we may lost many great designs, and now, as the Chinese building blocks companies may purchase the design licensed from the MOC creators, they receive actual benefits and reputation, and it's sure that they can be further motivated to create more great designs. Plus, some players with proper experience would rather choose to have the access to products with small troubles like Yesco, rather than not having access at all. Ever since the fall of Lepin in 2019, Chinese building blocks industry started clearing its original sin, which is faking, and began its redemption, which is the shared memory of Generation Y. Since the majority of characters or franchises that they bought are the popular ones at that time, like Metal Slug, Popeye, Naruto, and some other franchises that we talked about before. And I think that's also the shared memory by all the people of that age. So that's been it, and in the next video, I'm gonna introduce the aspects where Chinese building block companies do better than Lego. And see you in the next one.
You gotta make me change my mind.